Hello, my brothers and sisters. Victor Pross, anarchist artist, dealing with part 3 of the individual and society. Okay, just as a very quick, I do encourage, please, to listen to the other first 2 videos before going on with this video. I don't want it to be truncated where you might lose the meaning of what I want to communicate. So do listen to those before continuing here. However, for convenience, just a quick Reader's Digest recap in talking about the clash between collectivist, statist, and individualist anarchists. I was talking about the two fundamentally oppositional standpoints that the two parties are taking when it comes to ethics, when it comes to metaphysics, and we are getting right down to the nitty-gritty of philosophy, and we can't. And this conversation, by its very nature, is philosophical. Politics is a body of thought that rests on lower-level foundations such as epistemology, ethics, and metaphysics, and it's not free-floating on its own accord. It's not a study that's to be conducted without first knowing your base upon which it rests. So, the nature of the topic is philosophical, and that's exactly where I'm taking it. And if we are to achieve a free society, we cannot legislate it, we cannot vote it in, and all the things that are political activities. You have to go to the very roots of the problem, and the very roots of the problems is ideas, the realm of ideas. The state, like God and other philosophical abstractions, or just other abstractions like society, the state, God, rests underneath all of this. Okay, so now I was talking about what the nature of the clash was, is that the collectivists see society as a distinct, separate organism that has its own life. They might not, think this in cautious terms and articulate it just as I did, but I put it to you that it is at least a subconscious or an unconscious premise from which they proceed. When they hear talk about the individualist anarchists talking about the non-aggression principle and the benefit of the individualism and things like that, they're legitimately and quite sincerely put off by this in an ethical way, because they look at it as cold and selfish, and you're not. What are you doing for society when people are just pursuing their own happiness? Well, how does that? Not only do they see that as doing nothing for society, looking at society as some kind of separate entity over there, and you have the individuals over there. They think that it actually does harm to it, because look at this, one of the things is that that's constantly berated is privatization, right? Or profit, bad. It's bad things, profit. Privatization, that's bad. And public, and charity, and selflessness, that's all good. It's good. If it's anti-self, it's good. And that's the type of ethics that they embrace, and you can see this in their language. It comes out in their language. So don't tell me that politics doesn't rest on more deeper, significant roots like philosophy, like these questions in philosophy. So you can see it in the dialogue. The dialogue always gives these people away from the philosophical premises from which they're proceeding from. So now, just to flesh that out a little bit further, look at how profit is always considered a very negative thing. What is profit? If somebody goes into a marketplace offering their goods and services in voluntary trade by mutual consent for mutual benefit, what could conceivably be objectionable about this? As far as the collectivist is concerned, it's the individual person who's profiting, or the two parties involved, the one who's buying and selling, and the one or the buyer and the seller, they're benefiting. So there are specific individuals who are trading and getting something done but that's that's a profit. And how does that benefit society as a whole? That's so as far as they're concerned, all the goods and services that are traded is only between specific individuals. It doesn't do anything good for society, because they look at society as a zero-sum game. That is, so long as specific individuals are benefiting and reaping something, whether that be a resource or a profit, it's, as far as they're concerned, takes away from society. So that's why you have in communism where from each according to his ability, to each according to his need, where everybody's work and toil is to be thrown into one collectivist pot, to be stirred by the dictatorship of the proletariat, or as history has shown us, by raving lunatics like Stalin. Maybe that's not exactly what Karl Marx had in mind, but it's these philosophical premises will bear fruit as they do, given the nature of the premise. They will yield out in existential manifestations as they will, which has always been bloodied and disastrous in the long run. So so this is nothing to scorn or dismiss or to not consider in the battle for liberty, which cannot be done in the political realm by itself, while ignoring the entire body of knowledge that any political system rests upon, whether that be a rational individualistic philosophy or a altruist collectivist premise. Whatever fundamental philosophical premises that you adopt, and whatever is given wholesale implementation in a society as a whole, will bear out by the nature of those premises, either for disaster and destruction or freedom and prosperity, of which the anarchists would extol, and which the collectivists would have serious problems with. So yeah, I guess I'm not sure if I'll do another video on this, but you get a good idea, and hopefully it will bring about discussion. So thank you for listening. Victor Pross, individualist, angorist, anarchist, voluntarist, signing out. Pop goes the culture.